All right.
Okay, so let's set up a piece of equipment, if you don't mind, on a server site. So he was saying, it's a little bit different over in Maxwell because I can kind of set up all these equipment as standalone, that kind of attach them to service sites. That's kind of a second thing, and you'll see here.
You do what?
I was talking SPF, but.
Or not other
I don't know what,
Any other one.
I don't know what system you're talking about, right?
I got you.
Okay, I'm ready.
When you create a piece of equipment in Maxwell, do you create it in a standalone installed items database and then attach it to a site?
Yeah, but it's been done so long ago that now you just pick it from the list. When you set up a new contract.
But not
you
the
just-
model and serial number.
No, you do a data entry and it's only attached to that piece of equipment in that customer. Do you want me to show you on Maxwell or just go here?
No, we're gonna go
Okay.
this way. But you need to pull up First Western site customer.
So let's undo,
Yeah.
and go to your grid. So you gotta be on the service site first. So which one are we looking for? Which customer?
I want to find where my filter is for my Maxwell number.
Oh, did we get the service? Oh,
Not in the service sites.
we didn't get that brought over
Oh,
yet, did we?
All right.
We only have it on the AR customer, the SM customer. We're gonna bring it over, but we don't have it there quite yet. So we would have to kind of look for,
First Western, here it is.
Boom. So now we're on a specific site, and now we'll go to the serviceable items. And if you like to work in the grid, otherwise double click, and then you can, now it wants a piece of data. So if you hit undo, the only little difference is, if you're a grid person, you can do in the grid. If you come over here and just double click here, it'll bring it up in what I call the tab view. And it's the same data that's going across there, but now it looks like this, and they can see it on the back road. Okay?
They're wide awake.
RQ1,
So there's your tag number, or that unique.
I have this way if you want to look at it.
It's okay.
You got it?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. And then we want a nice tidy description, and you could put a whole bunch of other stuff in there if you were looking to put more information on that. So this is much bigger. I need a class and a type. These are the two required fields that you can see there. So is it one of those categories?
That's not a heat pump, but we're gonna use heat pump. Oh, no, we're talking, that's fine.
F4, and then we have the types.
They're 3 to 5 ton.
Okay. Then this is kind of that make, model, serial number, who made the thing, what model number, if you have a serial number.
You're not gonna enter the whole thing.
This would be just a description how to find the darn thing.
It's on the, go to the roof to find the rooftop unit.
Okay,
That's my big grand plan.
so go ahead and hit save there, so that's on there. Now go to your parts. Now hit right click into there. So now your filter bar is on. Okay, so now we can add, click into part. Let's see how big this is.
Oops.
F3, please.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Go to property values. This part number can be 30 characters of text. It looks awfully big. So now that there's a part type, so I can put in a part type, and a material. This material is coming off of my HQ material list. So remember our filters and our belts?
Sure.
That we're going to populate that big filter belt list. We can then say of those, which part number and part type and material are associated with this AC unit on the rooftop of that.
For my maintenance?
There's
Okay.
4 16 by 16 by 2 filters.
Okay, but why would I need something in part if all I'm having is materials? I don't need to order parts for my maintenance, I just need to order materials. I need to order filters and belts.
We kind of consider them the same thing. So let's go ahead and maximize that, make it a little bit bigger. So in your, like I said, there's the quantity of these whole things, but or a part, it can be a material or not. But usually it's kind of a one-to-one, your material is a part, because a belt is a part, correct? Or a filter is a part.
Okay.
So usually there's a one-to-one relationship normally between that, and then you can have that little part type as a further piece of information there.
So you want to
So,
start going to material where you can look it up, or where do you want to start?
well, you have to start to the left because you always have to fill stuff in the grid from left to right. So in this situation, you're looking up there, but you're actually, since it's the first one, you're putting in some sort of part number. So this is what Will was talking about. This is probably a generic one because at this point in time, you don't know which, you were saying you buy filters from like 4 different outfits.
Yeah, but we're
and
just gonna say the type that we want.
Well, but I need a type, but I need the part number here as well. So I would say that's going to be your unique filter number, our own internal Auburn mechanical
This is where
filter
we
part
put
number.
FLT 16 by 16 by 2.
Yeah, the generic one.
Is that what
correct.
you want to have our part numbers be?
For filter, I thought that's what you started making them.
We started with the FLT because that was what AFP had on their list.
Okay, so start with that.
But it's going to be generic.
Right.
Because at this point in time, you don't know which vendor you're going to get it from, right?
So-
You just, you need the size, but
Why
you don't
would you
necessarily.
need to have a FLT there then? Do you want an FLT there?
Or you're identifying or getting
Because
a
this is the
filter.
part number. This is what's gonna be the part number that's over in the material lookup, right?
That is correct. I would think, why call them anything?
But we're
different? They're
inventing the part
same
number.
thing.
So you would like to invent the part number is going to be,
FLT 1616-2.
16.
Is that because that's a filter?
Yes.
So are you kind of envisioning a category first and then a size?
Yeah, from what we did earlier, we created all the filters. We're gonna start FLT because our vendor used that. We're gonna kind of cheat and follow that model.
Yeah, and it makes sense that you can go to FLT, find your FLTs first, then narrow down onto
That
the
BLTs
size
are gonna
from
be
there.
belts and we're gonna do whatever.
So hit F4 and do a lookup here. So hit setup. So this is where, if you hit the little setup button, we can have different types of these things. So of your different parts, besides belts and filters, what other part types do you do preventive maintenance or maintenance?
so we'll have, we have some gaskets, we have,
We have coil cleaner, we have
I have
oil
planes in there.
analysis, we have,
Yeah.
Oil analysis.
So this one will be filter, of course, so let's start with filter, and then of course belt, gasket, so you'd have, these part types are kind of part categories, how many different types of parts, if we were to group them logically. Hit save,
or should you say pleated filters, Gene, instead of HVAC? Because should it just say pleated, so it could be box filters, pleated filters?
do you want it to be capped or lowercase up top?
What is the rest of?
I think
the
everything
line?
else is capped. See, I wouldn't put filter at the top. I think you got. Okay. Oops. Okay, so now hit save, go to the grid view. Notice, let's delete the first one because it's case sensitive. It thought that you already, so we'll delete that. And then a belt would be belts and then gasket. So we can keep building this, but each time you enter a part, then of course.
But you haven't created a part number. How come you started with a part number the first time and you're not here now?
I'm still in the third column. I haven't got to the material, so I'm just kind of going left to right across the first record. So I'm just giving her a little start on how this would look. If there's filters, belts, gaskets, and a couple other things, this is just kind of logical groupings of
Oil.
those things. Okay, and we could certainly add, and then part type oil, so we could actually, yep. That's
Oh, what am I thinking of, the lime stones that we have to put in the.
Condensate. You're talking about the condensate neutralizer?
Yeah, neutralizer. Sorry, I have my hands in a weird position. Okay, so that's good.
Okay, so let's save that. Now cancel out here. Now when you do a lookup, you'll be able to select, so we're on the filters, so let's double click on filters.
Do I cancel this?
I just double click on filters because you're in the lookup.
Oh, right.
And so now hit F4, and now type in FL in your thing. And so this is what we're talking about, is making sure that we import a nice generic thing so they're easy to find. Does
So
that
I'd
make
actually
sense?
use the 1616 now.
Yeah, we didn't put FLT, we put FL last time, but can you make a new one there and set up?
Here in the HQ material setup?
Yep.
She certainly could.
Because it's not in there right now.
So she'd have to hit the setup. She's looking up, then she'd hit the setup button. And this is adding one on the fly. If you go to the grid view, the easiest way to do this would be put in FL in your filter bar. And then you go right below the first one, and then you'd be like, okay, I see how that
We
one's
put
set up.
FLT though, and we got to make sure we clean that one up. 1616.2.
Sorry.
Just F4, and it'll bring up the list so you can just grab it. So, yep. And then taxable, and so,
You could go info and not have to scroll apart, right?
yeah, and so it all depends if you maximize this. Some people are grid people, some people are tab people. So now each standard unit of measure, you gotta go back one. So normally these are all going to be by the eaches, since they're filters, and we buy them by the eaches.
353 is the cost, Gene.
And then 353 would be the standard prefill, and save. So what he's saying is if you go to the info tab, it's whatever you feel, hit the info tab this time. If you feel comfortable entering it here, the only nice thing about doing it the other way is that you can see the one right above that you did, and you can say, I'm going to create one similarly. But
Right.
either way, I can see one at a time here. If you go to the grid view and put your filter bar in, then you can make sure you've got
So
consistency.
she changed that right now to FLT and just modify it or not?
No, that's the primary key, but what she could do is right-click. Actually, let me show you, there's a little trick here. If you're in the field, it thinks that you're gonna change something. Just go ahead and, oops, I touched it, sorry, click. Click on that little caret to the side. Now right-click, copy record. In Vista, I can copy a specific field, but I'm only copying the text in this thing. When you copy the record, you copied everything all the way down, the whole string of data. Go to the next one, right-click. Now, once again, it thinks you're entering, you can't paste singularly, hit undo there. Just click under there once. You have to go to the next event and right-click. Paste record. You're not just hit close here. It mimicked everything from that line. Now, like what John says, let's give it FLT. 10-10101. Okay? And save. So what you did is, if you go to the info tab, you copied everything from that top one into this. You didn't hit copy paste to one cell. You copied the whole record.
Right.
So now go to the grid. Let's make this one inactive. So the bad one, hit save. I already beat it up. Remember that purchase order? Guess what? I ordered about 10 of these.
Yeah.
I was ordering more because it was the only one I had in there, right?
Yeah.
So now going forward, so I can get rid of this, but it's inactive. And now when we give Will the marching orders to bring the ones we want from Maxwell, we'll call all the filters FLT going forward. Okay, so that they're nice and consistent. Cool. So cancel out of here. So we went right from here by hitting the setup. Now, if you put in FL, there's your nice little one sitting right below it. Now you're linking this part to a material part. And how, did you say you did 4 of those?
4 of them.
So he needs 4
We need
of those
8.
filters.
Is this linking it to that specific piece of equipment?
Yeah, we're still on RTU01, the thing on the roof. And we're saying that RTU01 at First Western Properties up on the roof, I need 4 of filters.
Okay, so we're gonna have a thing. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have some of the, don't, I'll throw stuff at
We're gonna have a thing.
I'll be throwing stuff at you.
And here's the thing.
Here's the thing from the thing. We have lots of installed equipment, serviceable items that have the parts already attached to the serviceable item per item.
Okay.
But the majority of ours, we have the filters or the parts themselves as the serviceable item. So for example, attached to First Western, I'll have 3 rooftop units, and then the 4th item would say filters. And then within filters, I would list the parts I need for the filters. And
Okay, but
the
that was a
reason why,
workaround, right?
well, yeah, but the reason for that was because when the techs would give us updates and whatnot, we never knew which piece of equipment. They're like, oh, I don't need 6 of these, I need 8 of these, and then they'd be gone, and we're like, okay, but which one doesn't get 2? And we don't know. So we stopped doing that to be more efficient at updating those things with them, and we order them that way. We order them, I order 8 of them at a time.
But are we gonna be able to order, if we have 3 pieces of equipment here, are we gonna be able to pull all of the items on this work order, all the equipment for this one, and order one purchase order for those items?
Well, if we did it one at a time, I thought you were talking about analyzing maybe for the whole month and
I think
getting
we
those
should be
things
doing
out.
it by one at a time, but I know why they did that, so
Mhm.
I don't wanna,
So if you want the new work rules to be correct, which is the exact filters attached to the exact piece of equipment, I'm gonna have a problem at import. Because that isn't gonna come over that way. So I have what, I'm just saying,
That's the
that's
thing.
the thing. That's the
No,
thing.
I understand
We should
that.
be doing it like that.
So if it imports the way it imports comes over right now, then we have some items that are like that.
So do me a favor, hit save here. So what you're telling me is, just so I go to your grid view here, please.
I can't see it. There. Oh, that makes all the difference in the world.
So what you're saying is you'll have all the units, and then you'll have a dummy unit at the bottom called miscellaneous parts, and it'll have filters and stuff that are not really specific to each item. It's like a dummy piece of equipment, but it's actually all the parts sitting out there.
Right, so
That's
in
kinda what
this
you're
case,
doing right
I
now?
have 2 rooftop units. Each of these rooftop units takes 4 filters. I would have 1 line for rooftop unit 1, 1 line for rooftop unit 2, 1 line for filters, and I order 8 filters.
Not saying Vista couldn't do that. Do you want to, that's kind of up to you guys. Do you want to continue to be doing it that way, or do you want to have item specific or equipment specific parts lists?
So I've lived this way both ways, where the techs, we did it for simplicity because we wanted all the filters to show so the guy knew exactly all the filters. It depends on the outcome that we get on the work order that goes to the techs. Can they clearly see what filters?
That's the whole thing. I was just gonna say something about this, is that we did it a workaround because Drew couldn't get, he would say, I need 8 filters. I'm gonna tell you what. Now, we have, field,
that'd be more difficult.
Yeah, that's not a good long meeting.
We have this
Started
new
out
devices
and
for
more
our
into
service
the last.
we have new things that they're gonna do. So when they're ordering and they're running a unit, or they have a unit saying, I need 2 filters for this unit, and it goes back to you now, and it's all in it. So we have to figure out what the end game is to backtrack on how we're gonna set it up.
Coming from,
Mhm.
because
Yeah, Yeah.
Because to me,
that changes
not only that,
Okay, so my preference would be to have the filters connected to the piece of equipment, okay? And when the guys are out in the land and they're doing their thing, it's all good. But I'll have a problem at import.
We'll have a problem at import, but will we continue to have a problem if we finally get these things in here for the other problem that you had
I'm
from
just
the
saying.
field saying, I
Right.
need.
even
Right.
at renewal or as we enter contracts, we start it right. So right now, if it brings in three pieces of, one piece of equipment says filtered and they're there, it's gonna have it. I'm not even worried about that on the
If it's a
import.
pain point for right now, one time, I'll deal with that. We can deal with that. If it's a continual pain point, after location, we don't want that.
Right.
So that's why we need to think.
Right.
So if we have to do a bunch of data entry, get these things in here,
Again,
maybe.
it's about what shows on the work order, so that he knows I have, so there is 4 filters on one unit, 4 filters on another, and 1 on the other one. So the guy needs to know he's gonna need 9 filters, he needs 8 of this and that, and by the way, he needs to take 4 over to this corner to that unit, and 4 over to that unit. And we haven't, so Gina, I don't know if you remember, but guys hated it that when we did it as bunched like that, but they never knew what to take way over to that wing because they didn't know what was in that unit. So we solved one problem by showing them all, but we didn't give them the other problem, and it was the work way.
Just trade problems.
We just traded problems. So I know what we have on import, and I don't think it hurts us to import them because at least it's there, it says filters and it's got them.
Yeah, and we could.
And then as we go forward, we move forward, and if we have time, we clean up and to the unit if we have the information. If we don't, then it still works.
Okay, so then what I'll do is, we'll do that, and going forward, then I'll change what the model has been. And it's too bad I didn't do it on Pro Sports, because that's a lot of belts, but regardless, starting tomorrow, all new contracts, we'll put them in that way. We'll put them in as components to that unit.
Yeah, but the only thing you're gonna be doing is any new contracts between now and live, right?
Yeah, there's no way you're gonna go and audit every.
No,
site.
no.
But
But I don't know how to do it with belts when you're only doing them once per year.
So can you,
Now, do you have another one on the roof similar to this one?
Mhm.
So, quiz time. What would be the easiest way to copy this record and create another one if the other one was very simple,
You do it,
similar to the previous one?
I think that you gave away the whole answer with the question.
Okay.
Where's it
it's great.
at? I'm not
Oops,
pulling it over.
Let's click, just click one more time right there, just click once.
I'm trying.
It's his fingers on it.
Click, right click.
Now we gotta get out of that record or something.
Come copy record. Did she not save it yet?
Just click to the side, just click right below it for a second. So now let's click on that. Oop, but now I'm on the second record.
I know.
It's the first one, so sometimes it doesn't let you copy. This one isn't letting me.
That sucks, because you could have 25 water source heat pumps and you want
excited.
Yeah, except for you don't want to,
Well, it worked in that HQ, but for some reason I can't get it over
but
here.
you've got specific model and serial numbers.
But I could override them if I could at least default. So is this RTU 01
Yeah.
or 02?
next one's RTU 02.
So let's go RTU, at least in the grid view, you can see, well, I just gotta replicate this other thing. So now I gotta, is it the same thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
So let me show you a trick. So go over here, hit F4, grab rooftop unit, click F4, I got my 0 to 10 time again. And then, is this the same,
Yeah, it
are
is.
they both carriers? And both same model
They are the same model.
in the situation?
How come you didn't put the whole model? It's just all that we entered in there?
No, because it's really a small print.
Oh.
Do you want me to,
I just
do you
wondered.
want me to do it?
No, I just wondered. Okay.
What's the
Okay.
serial number, John?
Serial number is 4714 C80816.
And then,
And it has 4 of the same filters.
okay, so maybe what we'll do is scroll to the left here. So what you can do sometime, and this is just click and hit Control C or copy.
It doesn't let you copy it.
Put that on your clipboard, Control C, and then go down and Control V. and enter.
No.
So that's copying just within a cell, the
Yeah,
whole record.
but that's interesting though, because you had to hit enter before you could see it.
Before you can see it, that's a little trick.
Yeah.
So now hit the parts please, and now I call this, oh boy. Hit the hit the grid, hit that one, I couldn't remember, hit the parts.
I did the same thing.
Now, so that's going to be FLT
See you later.
1616.2. So we'll go back to the grid. So FLT 1616.2. And F4, that was going to be a filter. And F4, we're going to link it to a material in a one-to-one relationship. So FL will bring us to those. And that's our inventory material item. And then I need 4 of those babies and save. So now if we go to the grid, in the old days you would have had filters and it would have the 8 thing in there, but now we're 4 and 4 and specific to the piece of equipment instead of using that kind of dummy equipment for the
So you don't need
parts.
to show me this, but I just want to confirm that when I go to do a material order based off of this, and I only need to do the filters, I do the filters 4 times a year and I do belts 1 time a year, how will I know the difference? Yeah, where does that come in?
When we go to the agreement, the preventive maintenance agreement,
I'll see it in.
we're going to have to go in and we'll go to that kind of thing next step to show you how that works.
Okay.
But at least we got something to test. So let's keep our eyes on Mr. First Western Property Service Site because it's got the serviceable items and it can, and this one is a preventive maintenance example.
Yes.
Now, does it also have belts and stuff that we would want to, that are on these?
This site doesn't have any belts, but we could fake it.
Gotcha, no. Let's try not and bake it. And the only reason I'm saying that is that at some point in time, we're going to go from company 201, which is a test company,
Oh, right,
to company 1, which is your live company.
right.
At that point in time, we're going to ask, what is worth saving because the setup is good? And what do we got to throw out because we're going to redo everything we've done? So my attitude is try and make everything as pristine as possible. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
In our testing and working right now, do it as real as possible. Is what you're saying.
Treat the setup
It's real data.
of your test company as real data. Those work orders are going away and all that shenanigans. Don't worry about those. But think of the setup and configuration as pristine because then we can copy that over to our live company and you're like, don't you be touching my setup. I've been careful the whole time not to just be dummying stuff in there.
So we have to change things right
So
now.
what do you call it
It's
setup?
not
This is not setup.
This is
Gotcha.
the setup of a piece of equipment with the parts on this setup.
So then you need
Just
to put
like-
your whole model number in then. To be pristine.
I agree with, otherwise you'd have to revisit this later, unless we're going to import this thing
Shut up!
and get it in there.
It'll be-
Does that make sense? If we're going to import this thing but he would still need those serviceable items with the tags, but there's a little update thing, isn't there, Will? But like where I can update some of this data.
Can you?
You're
can
gonna
you not
import
update
the
that
serviceable
model number?
items.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
If he re-imports these service sites, then we can update that.
AO7.
You know what?
Update that field of data
John,
with the data from Maxwell.
that's not what I have in here to go with that model, that serial number.
No, that's.
Oh,
the
it's
model
to the
number.
right.
Okay, but to go to C84371,
Yep, that's correct.
84371.
Are there any other data fields that Vista would really need? Is there a UD field that we need to map, or does Vista really have the same exact data? Because if tag goes over into that, are we okay, or is there
Yeah.
any additional stuff I'm missing there?
As long as they match what we're gonna import from Maxwell, you guys
That
do it.
location, the other stuff, same thing.
What about your,
You want me to read it to you, Gene? I can see it really well.
item numbers that we're changing
What item number?
for filters or whatever, I guess.
Well, that's,
You know what I'm saying?
I think we're gonna look to upload that from that spreadsheet that I sent over to you.
Okay.
At least on the filters we can, the belts, we'll have to make some
Are they
crap.
the same numbers that you want to use, the FLT?
What I think we'll do
John wants
is
to-
we'll export,
Okay.
we need to export it into Excel.
Yep.
Then we need to go clean up some part numbers.
Mhm.
And then we say, okay, Will, let's load
There you
this
go.
into here.
Okay,
Okay.
we could do that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Because then by looking at all those lists of items, we can decide, okay, we want a category of filters, we want a category of belts, we want a category of oil, we have a category of gaskets, we can do a few of that,
We'll
so,
pull it all into Excel and do it that way.
and then play with it.
Mhm.
Nope, doesn't like it.
Yeah, HQ Materials, I got the copy record. For some reason, they don't have the copy record here. And
Oh, you have an extra O in that one, just so you know.
now, is this the third one up there?
Yep.
Wow. So, yeah, this is exactly,
Well, she just did one that had 50 pieces of equipment on it.
yeah. Okay, F4. I imagine you get up on some of those Boeing roofs, they're like the biggest buildings in the world.
So is that type, do we need to develop all that type list too, or is that just all part of the service, that's the item class?
That's the class and the type for that, remember that
I wrote
table?
class,
Class
I didn't
and
write
type.
type, but we
Yep.
have to get that.
Classes also have a type. Yep.
ESA 600.
Some people, actually, the nice thing, are you attaching anything in your current system? On every piece of data in Vista, this little paper clip is an attachment. They take pictures, some people will email it, and then you go in and you just drag and drop it. And when you click on it, it was a picture of this unit or something like that. So a lot of times people attach either documents or warranty stuff or pictures of the equipment or something.
What just happened?
What happened?
Everything just went away.
Close out it for just a second. Okay, refresh. Go to the grid. Oops. Right
We're
click,
in a different site somehow.
right click. Turn off your filter bar. Right click, turn on your filter bar. Which customer is this?
It was First Western.
There it is down here. Now go to the serviceable items. There's those
Wow.
three.
I don't know what happened.
Just lost it.
I think you must have bounced up into that server site and.
Yeah, it changed it to a different service site. Somehow we popped into, I can't remember one I was looking at, but
Yeah,
I
that's
think we're
weird.
First Western over to something. Okay, now that one, let's go,
You just have to put a part in for that yet, right?
Yeah.
I don't think,
Is that mine?
16 by 24 by 1. One of them.
yeah, that's not actually what this shows here, John. It shows filters for RTU 1 and 2 is 8 total.
1 and 2. There's 4 each. Well, each one on 1 and 2.
Well,
And then
we've
there's-
been doing it for a while and we haven't changed anything and it says that there's
It
only
says there's what?
8 total. You want me to go in and change it so the next time I do it, it says 9?
Well, no, there's 1 16/24/1 and 1 18/24/1. Wes Carlson surveyed this.
I'll just tell you that the last time I ordered it and the next time I ordered it, it'll be 8 16 by 16 by 2.
And that's it?
Hmm?
nothing for the third one.
What's funny is the filters are in the return. Is there another line item on the contract in Maxwell? Because they're not in the unit, they're in return grills.
Gotcha.
Is there a third item that they put return in the field? That's why. So you have to add one more item in here that's gonna be filter grills? Or whatever. I don't know how they did it, but
All right, so now what do I do?
What's your intention? Run, I mean,
I need to install the filters for RTU3,
Okay.
connect the parts.
Hold on, but did you create a separate item?
No,
in
but
there?
you can do it from that space.
Double click, right over here. Oops. Double click.
I'm sorry. There we go.
Okay, we'll bring up that, now go to the parts. So this is it filters, same story? Is it
It's a different kind of filter, but yes.
Okay,
So I need to add one on the fly.
yeah. So, do we know the name?
FLT 1624-1.
FLT.
1624-1.
24-1
Part type, you do it.
filters. Now F5, remember F4 is a lookup. If you know you gotta go straight to the setup, you can go to the grid, put in FL in your filter bar. So this is just adding one on the fly. And now she could go down the bottom. Now, would it help if we actually copied and then just overrode some stuff? This, because I can use the copy record on this one.
You have to override everything.
But I don't have to put in a 1 and a 1, but it all depends if you want to.
Because we have to do another one. There's 2 different size filters on this one. But while she's here, because she create both of them, she knows she has to create 2.
Sure.
So.
Oh, 16 by 24. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. 16, 16, 1. 16 by 24 by 1. F4 SM.
It's too bad it doesn't autofill that when you type in there.
Well, you can pre-fill from above if you choose to. There's an F3 override that says pre-fill from above, but it will always pre-fill from
I
above.
want the cost
But
of
if you want to do that, there is an F3 pre-fill.
287.
Is there a hotkey on that too? If you typed in SM-F and that was the only one in there, that it would just, and hit enter, would it put SM filter?
8124-1.
Only if you hit lookup to grab it.
Because I know that some of them were, hotkey that you type in, like a customer and stuff.
Yeah, some of those customer employee, they have that little search hotkey in there, but not in that category. Yeah.
See, it's weird that you can't just pull it up because it's in another field, but.
Okay.
And the cost is $3 on that.
Okay. Cool. Gotcha. So there you go. Now when she gets that 4, and she can type in just FL, it'll bring her down to all of her nice new filter things, and she can grab the right one. And how many of them does she need, she says?
1.
Okay.
And then she needs to add 1 more.
Onto the same.
To the same
equipment.
unit, yep.
Okay, then you go right below. FLT.
Well, she's already created it, so can she do a lookup here?
Well, this part, that's the only one she has right now. The other one is FLT 16.
Okay, so this needs to be FLT 1824-1.
Yeah. And it's going to be, and we could pre-fill from above once again. If you wanted the system to put logic, it can do that. Now F4, FLT will bring it down to that. And she links that to the one she entered on the fly. $3. And she can put 1
We already entered it.
and save. So now this one has 2 filters. All the other ones have 4 of the same.
Right.
So now it knows what it's doing. Okay. So do we got a master plan for trying to get all of these babies uploaded from Maxwell into here? Because you get a lot of data in there, so it'd certainly be nice to be able to map that.
Yeah,
And
we're gonna have to work with,
electronically get all that in
we're gonna
there.
have to work with Will, because it's too much data to.
Yeah.
Because you have to create all the classes and the types and all the serviceable descriptions and all that crap, and then
Link them.
link them. And by crap, I mean find high quality stuff. That would be good.
Well, yeah, how would you? You're gonna have to look at that Excel sheet and then we're gonna have to map type and class into that, right? We'll have to create some categories and put a class and type in by all the equipment that he pulls out of there, right?
Yeah, you've got,
There's a lot of work to do on that Excel spreadsheet.
I agree.
Because you're gonna clean out, you have to create your serviceable, not, yeah, that tag will be on what he pulls out, but you're gonna have to create the class, the description and all that. And that's a big job.
Yeah, that's a lot of data, you're right.
Right now, all we've done is created it. So if you were creating a new contract, Gene, you would have had to create this site, enter the AR in service, in what customers you have to do, yeah, SM customers after, you have to put the customer in the main one, right? AR customers, then SM customers, then make a site, then add equipment, and then you would create the rest of your contract, right?
For a brand spanking new customer,
Right.
Yes.
yeah, if they don't exist as a customer, you gotta create an AR customer, SM service site, then create all the different equipment at that SM service site. Then you go to the next step and do the agreements that we're gonna talk about.
That's
in the
what we're
next
doing
step.
now.
Huh?
We do that now.
Yeah, okay. So let's close out of here, please. And we'll start into the next phase, which we've been in denial about. So like I said, we've kind of been going through a bunch of this stuff, but now we're getting into this whole group right here, okay? So let's open SM agreement types first. And let's go ahead and skinny this up and pull it to the right, please.
Can I do something before we start this?
Oh, you sure can.
I just want to reset this video because I know it's going to end soon.
Oh, because it's a good segment change.
Yes, exactly.
I think we should do it before we close. We need to